Well, good morning. It's Friday morning. Today we're reading Luke 8:19 through 21. Just 3 verses, but wow, what controversy. Then his mother and his brothers came to him, but they could not reach him because of the crowd. And he was told, "Your mother and your brothers are standing outside, desiring to see you." But he answered them, "My mother and my brothers are those who hear the word of God and do it." Jesus rejects his family. Oh no. What are we going to do with this? Well, there's a lot here that we need to deal with, so we'll try to be brief. First of all, there's his mother. The Blessed Virgin Mary, the BVM, as the literature from the Episcopal Church refers to her. Mary's been the subject of a great deal of debate, I guess you would say, over the centuries. Of course, the early church respected her. Gradually, they came to see that she was chosen by God to bear the Son of God, and so she is the mother of God. She is said in the Eastern churches, and I think in the Roman church too, to be ever virgin, which means that she was a virgin before the birth and afterwards, that all her life. That means that, of course, these brothers had to be someone else's children. So we'll get to that in a few minutes. And by the Middle Ages, by the high, just before the Reformation, say the 1400s, Mary had practically replaced Jesus as the mediator. Jesus is so high and so terrifying that in popular piety, people prayed to Mary, "Please talk to your son on my behalf," which is not scriptural at all, but that's the way that popular piety worked it out. And so at the Reformation, the rejection of that medieval Roman Catholic theology made it sound like that the Protestant churches were rejecting things that they really didn't quite reject. Now, the Second Helvetic Confession is a Swiss confession written in 1560 or so by Bullinger, who was one of the reformers, and it refers to Mary constantly as the ever Virgin Mary. That's just the way she's referred to. The Heidelberg has a question that refers to her that way. Some others do, I think. So Mary is held in high respect. Now, there are those in the Presbyterian Church who think, well, we'll go with tradition. She was a virgin. She's always a virgin. Sure, we'll buy that. Because she's a special case. There are those who think, no, she's a normal human woman. She had other children. Of course she did. Don't make her too special. So we got to find a way to preserve the uniqueness and special case of Mary without worshiping her, and that's a little tricky. I think for some of us. I mean, it's a little tricky for us in the church. Now, his brothers, there are various theories that have been offered here. One is that these were Joseph's children by previous marriage, because Joseph was so much older than Mary, which we know because Joseph sort of appears in Matthew's infancy narrative and then is never heard from again. Or they were the children of the sister of Mary, who was also named Mary, and they were just sort of cousins. In Africa today, the people will talk about, these are my brothers, and you look at it and say, how many brothers do you have? And you realize, no, that means to them, these are my cousins, these are my kinfolk. Well, that's fine, and that's the way I often read this, but the Greek adelphoi, brothers, is not used that way. It's almost always used to mean the natural biological brothers from the same mother that you have. So we get into that. So however you want to read it is fine with me. I just the point of the story is not that Jesus had brothers or that Mary had other children or whether was Mary a virgin or not. The point that Jesus makes is that my mother and my brothers are those who hear the word of God and do it. My family are those people who are in this group who obey the word that I teach. And so it's not that he rejects his real family and says, oh, we can't deal with them. Of course we can. But the people he considers really his family are those who are on the inside of the group and who hear the word and obey it. So take that word and obey it. Take that word to heart, and don't worry so much about whether Mary was a virgin until Jesus was born, or was always a virgin, or all of this stuff, because ultimately that stuff doesn't matter as much as we might think. Okay, well, have a great Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow.